Black Hollow, a mountain village near Asheville, North Carolina. Year 2022. Tired of the hustle and chaos of city life, Aaron Miller, a freelance writer, arrived in this old mountain village in search of solitude. His goal: to write a true horror book that would transform his career. On the outskirts of the village stood an old mansion, abandoned, but with sturdy walls. Locals said no one lived there, but to Aaron, it seemed perfect for his book: silence, mystery, and the scent of age. The owner warned clearly: the mansion is cheap, but there's one condition: if a phone rings at 3:33 a.m., don't answer it. Aaron laughed. There's no signal here, who would even call? The owner simply said, the phone doesn't ring. It awakens by itself. Aaron dismissed it as village superstition. He took the keys and moved in. Inside, the mansion was massive. Wooden staircases, broken chandeliers, and a deep silence in every room, as if no breath had stirred in centuries. But one room was locked from inside. A thick padlock sealed the door, and some ancient script was etched on it. Near the door stood a lifeless old telephone, yellow, rotary dial. The wires were cut, but when Aaron touched it, a faint humming sound came, as if it was breathing. That night, Aaron lay in bed, but sleep didn't come. He felt like someone was walking in the room. He opened his eyes, saw nothing, but a cold breeze filled the space. Suddenly, the wall clock chimed exactly 3:33 a.m. And then the phone rang. Cling, cling, cling. 3 rings, then silence. Aaron picked up the receiver. A voice whispered, "Don't open the room or it will never close again." The call ended. The next morning, Aaron dismissed it as a dream. But he was curious. He decided he would open that locked room. Maybe that's where his story lived. He went to the town, bought a hammer and tools, and tried breaking the lock. As soon as the lock broke, the door creaked open by itself. What Aaron saw inside took his breath away. The walls were covered in strange symbols: inverted faces, burning eyes, and unfamiliar signs in some ancient language. In a corner sat a charred chair, and in front of it, an identical telephone just like the one outside. And on one wall, written in blood, "Listen at 3:33 or be trapped forever." That night, Aaron woke up again, 3:33 a.m. The phone rang again. Cling, cling, cling. This time he didn't pick it up, but the receiver lifted on its own. A broken, girl's voice spoke. "I was here in that room, he burned me, and now I'm bound to the phone." Every night, someone new comes and makes the same mistake: they open the room. Now it's your turn. And then the door slammed shut by itself. The room grew cold. A fog formed on the mirror, and a name appeared. Aaron. Strange things began happening in the mansion. A shadow followed his own in the mirror. Books opened by themselves, all pages showing just one line: "I'm still here." Every night at 3:33 a.m., the phone rang. And now, even during the day, a voice called out, whispering close, "Will you die too?" One day, Aaron went down to the hall and saw an old CCTV camera mounted on the wall. It wasn't working, but an old tape was inside. He played the tape. What he saw sent chills through his spine. A man, just like him, lived in the mansion: Nathan Ward, who had gone missing in 2014. The tape showed Nathan opening the same room, the same phone, the same incidents, and then Nathan screaming in agony, his hands catching fire, and then the camera went blank. At the end of the tape, one line flashed: "Those who answered at 3:33, their existence was erased." Now Aaron understood this wasn't just a ghost story. It was a loop in time. Each new tenant was trapped in the same cycle: the phone, the time, the screams. Every spirit that died became the next warning, but no one ever listened. And now Aaron was part of that loop too. He tried to destroy the phone, but as he raised the hammer, the whole room shook and voices screamed from the walls. "No, this isn't the way. If you destroy it, we'll all be stuck here." As Aaron hit the wall, a hidden door appeared within it. A door that hadn't been visible before now glowed faintly. But this was no ordinary door, it was a gateway of space and time. As Aaron approached the door, his heartbeat quickened. He knew no one returns from beyond this point. If he crossed it, time and place would lose all meaning. As he stepped near, the light dimmed. Everything grew strange and blurry. Water trickled down the walls as his gaze remained fixed on the door. Slowly, he opened it and stepped inside. As he passed through, Aaron found himself in another world. No sun, no moon, just darkness and cold winds. An eerie silence hung, as if everything had ended, yet something still lived. He ran through a silent hallway, where dead figures stood frozen. Their eyes were hollow, staring at Aaron full of despair, trying to speak but voiceless. A familiar old phone stood there just like in his room. He walked toward it, picked up the receiver, and a deep voice asked, "Why are you here? You will become what we have become." Every night, every 3:33, the loop continues: "We will consume you." Aaron, trembling, asked, "Is this real? Those who come here never leave, we become part of them." Another voice echoed through the phone. You cannot escape, the web of time binds us all. Aaron now realized he was caught in a time trap. Anyone who answered the call at 3:33 am got trapped. It was an invisible cycle forcing the same actions every night. Suddenly, the spirits began to scream, their faces full of pain and hatred. They all looked like Aaron. In unison, they cried, "You will become one of us. We will show you this trap." Aaron didn't give up. He ran, tried to escape the mansion. But every path led back to the same locked room. No matter where he went, the same walls, the same foggy light. He was exhausted, afraid but determined. As he moved, he found himself always back where it all began, the phone. He realized this was not just a mansion, but a trap in time. Every night at 3:33 am, the same moments repeated. Anyone who entered got stuck in the loop. But what if there was a way out? Suddenly, an old woman appeared, the same voice that had been calling him. She gestured to Aaron and said, "You've chosen right, Aaron. You've found the path to break the cycle." Aaron asked in shock, "But how? Everything's the same. The screams, the room, the phone." She gently replied, "The phone isn't your enemy. It's your guide. It's the doorway out of linear time." Aaron didn't understand. She explained that the voices on the phone weren't just warnings, they were time portals. Those who answered it didn't just get trapped, the same phone could also free them. You must answer it again, but this time, understand that the cycle is bigger than you. Everything is part of a vast conspiracy. If you make the right move at the right time, you can bend the stream of time. Aaron hesitantly picked up the phone. The voice returned, but it was different now. "You won't understand, Aaron, but everything you do is just a game. Many like you are trapped. But you could be the first to escape if you take the step no one ever did." Aaron now knew this wasn't just a phone. It was an interdimensional machine, tearing through time and space. These ghosts and voices weren't from elsewhere, they were fragments of his own past. A thought struck him, was this all connected to a past life? Was his death and this trap rooted somewhere deeper? He listened to the voice and realized it was his own. A wave of realization and fear washed over him. He wasn't just part of the trap, he was the trap. The phone had become a spiritual journey, revealing the truth every ghost was just a reflection of himself. And then, everything shifted. Aaron found himself once again beside the phone where it all began, but this time, the trap was gone. The phone was silent. The spirits had vanished. The loop had ended. Aaron felt free. But deep in his heart, a question remained: had he really escaped? Or was this just a new beginning? The untold ending. Even now, Aaron sometimes thinks of the phone at night. But now, he knows. The trap he escaped from could always return. And if he ever picks up the phone again at 3:33 am, it might all begin again.